Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today I wanted to give a try at making some tags using some old packaging. I saw this on Gail Agostinelli's YouTube channel and I love the sound of that. Can you hear that? I love that crinkle sound, and so when I saw that I'm like, I have got to try it. I didn't make any prototypes. I'm just going to do this on the fly. This was just some packaging, I think, from an Etsy shop some time ago. So she did give some helpful hints about how to layer these in that the bubble wrap side is where your image is going to go, and then your coffee dyed paper is going to go on the back. And I am going to stitch, so we'll see how it goes. I can't film my sewing machine in view because of where it's sitting, but you'll get the idea. And I just picked some little bits of ephemera and things like that to go ahead and make my tags. So this tag measures, I believe this was for a little less than 4 inches. Sorry, should have been more prepared here. This one was, yeah, just under 4 inches by, I believe it was 6 inches, yeah. And then this one is just a little bit smaller. Same concept, just different ephemera. This one measures, it looks like just under 3.5 by a little over 5.5. I didn't measure exactly. Just depends on your journal style and the places that you want to tuck them. Right now I'm just busy learning how to make ephemera, so I'm not really thinking about size as much as just trying to get some things made just to get comfortable with the medium here. So I'm going to just set some of this aside, get my ink out and do some inking of the edges of my paper before we start. This is really thin paper, so I'm going to grab my this is just a copy weight paper. So I've got this piece of cardboard that I like to use, and I just put my piece of paper, especially if it's this really thin stuff, and just put it on that edge, and it makes inking so much easier, and you don't have to put up with that terrible sound that it makes when you're trying to ink something and you've got that really flimsy paper. So just doing some inking around the sides here. All right, and then we're going to also do the coffee dyed paper here. It shouldn't be as difficult because it's, well, it is still copy paper, but when you coffee dye it, it gets, it takes on a different texture than just when it's copy paper. This is coffee dyed paper that I actually did myself. I've only done it twice. I hope to do it here this next week with the warm weather. Just get a bunch more done. Try some different techniques. So I've got that one ready. I'm going to go ahead and ink all of the bits on for both projects here. So I'm going to just go around. This is a Tim Holtz ephemera piece, just from, I believe it's from the Field Notes, the small ones. Pretty sure, but I'll be sure to link it. And then my quote says, "She said she could, so she did." So I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, go ahead and ink that as well. And put all this together here. I may grab some more stuff. I may grab some buttons or things of that nature if I want to add a little bit more. It's kind of hard to know what you really want to do until you do it, especially since I didn't make a sample prototype. So it should be cute. I've never sewn through bubble wrap, so we'll see how that goes on my machine. Gail didn't seem to have any issues, but she uses her machine a whole lot more than I do. I'm still very challenged by sewing paper, so some hairs on my pad. And then the last is the coffee dyed paper. I'm just going to do this really quick without my board. I like to make some creases in my paper. So I think I'm going to just kind of fold this a little bit. Just lightly crease it, just so I can get some other lines on it that make it look a little bit more aged. Kind of like that. And my last bit is, I'm going to cut this quote down just because it's a little bit too big for my liking. So I'm just going to cut off the ends a little bit. And unfortunately, I have so many Word digitals that I am not going to be able to link all the makers. So I apologize for that. But I meant to, in one of my last videos, to give you a list of the channels that I watch and the shops that I frequent. I did link the ones I used in those particular projects, but I think it would be nice to have a list of YouTube creators that I follow, as well as just the general shops that I tend to frequent. So, and then just another bit of ephemera from the Tim Holtz collection, Field Notes. And there we go. I think we are ready to go. It is going to be so hot here today. My air conditioner was making my room too cold, but now it's steaming in here, so I'm going to turn it back on. So I apologize for the sound in advance. It's probably going to go off and on as I have it on energy mode. So let's see. I love new adventures, don't you? Okay, so what Gail said is to, I'm going to get my glitter glue because I'm going to glue just the center portions of this to prepare it for sewing. So what she indicated is that you put the image or your paper on the top, and then you're going to put your copy dyed paper on the back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I need my towel here. I always get glue all over myself. So I'm just going to put some glue in the center, because my needle will never touch that. We're just going to try to get it on here as quick and even as possible. It should have a little bit more wiggle room on this kind of slippery surface. So let's make sure. Yeah, we're nice. I need to trim this down a little bit, it looks like, but not bad for a first try at this. So, and then we're going to glue the coffee dyed paper on the back. Doesn't matter which direction it goes. Sorry, I'm off screen, guys. It's early in the morning. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, even though I don't have to work. It's summer. My body clock tells me when I need to get up, and I really just don't fight that. Okay, so I'm going to trim this just a bit because I can see that pink, and so I know it's off. And then I think it's off a little bit on the bottom. Okay. We're going to go ahead and cut our corners just so that it's all ready for the sewing. That might have been a little wide. I'm just going to use a piece of this to do this other corner. That's that little trick they all use. Pretty nifty. Okay. So let's get these scraps out of here. I'm trying to keep things tidy. A little bit tidier. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my sewing machine, and I'll be right back. Okay. That is really, really interesting to sew on. And I can still hear the crinkling a little bit, which I love. But you can tell I've got some like bunching up here, so I don't know if I should have cut, maybe the next one I'll cut the bubble wrap piece, well I already cut it, make it bigger so that I can just trim it off, because I think what happened is it bunched up under there, and it may be that I just didn't use enough glue. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim this up a little bit because it's a little bit can see that bubble wrap. I don't want to see that. I love this though. It's super easy. Super, super easy. I can cut this. Manage that? Okay. So, I do want to I want to see, I don't know if I can put an eyelet in this because, well, I should be able to. I'm going to try it. Why not? So let me get my crocodile and my little bits here. And we're going to go ahead and punch a hole. Yeah. I always have to put it like this because I cannot get it to line up for the life of me from the side. So this is what I do. I need to put this back on 3/16 so that I'm going to punch the big hole. And I do love that it's got this little measuring thing here so that you can determine the distance from the top that you want to actually make your hole, which is nice. So I punch that. A little rough, but it's because it's trying to punch through plastic. Let me just trim that off. Okay. I'm really not liking that pink though. Hopefully I can disguise that with a little bit of inking. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn it and move it to the pressing part. I don't know what you actually call that. I'm just going to call it the pressing part. The part that allows you to put the eyelet in is what I mean. So sorry, I'm off camera here again. Okay. So we're going to put this in here and we're going to line it up like so, and squeeze. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Oh, I love that. Absolutely love it. I think I'm going to try it with some, I've got a lot of old patterns that I think would give kind of a similar effect. This is a little bit chunky to go in a journal, so we'll see how it goes. So I've got this sari silk. I'm going to open it up a little bit just because it's pretty crinkly, which it's supposed to be crinkly, but it's like all tight. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. This is the way that I like to do it, and then I feed it backwards into the hole and then pull it out and then tuck both of these strands in and then pull it tight. You can also, it's really nice to be able to make a bow on that as well if you wanted to just continue and make a bow. It works really great. So I'm going to go ahead and ink a little bit more here. I'm going to put that air conditioner on regular cool because it going off and on is driving me crazy. There we go. I am grateful though. Let my complaining not indicate that I am not grateful. Sure not liking that pink though, so I think I'll save that pink for something that I can completely cover because I can see that pink and it's not covering up very well, but that's okay. It's my first one. Okay, so let's get to decorating this baby. I'm going to keep it very, very simple because it's just so cute. Okay, so I had this, but it seems like that's almost too much, this little flower. But you know what? I pulled it out, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, this is the sari silk for the other tag. Sorry, guys. It's this one. It's this seam binding that I pulled out in this kind of taupey color. So there we go. Fumble fingers right now. I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want that flower to get lost in this on this background, so I'm going to take a little bit of the coffee dyed paper and maybe a piece of, I always go to the book pages or something like that to kind of create a little bit of a collage-y bit. So I'm going to do that here too, because I think it adds a nice little element. Just need to find one. I sorted all of my, I'll show you this while I've got it up here. Sorted in my box. All of these are in like groupings. So this is all like scrapbook paper kind of stuff. This is all more fragile paper, book pages, coffee dyed paper, scraps. This is like other things like vellum and rice paper and fabric bits. This is heavier cardstock. So it makes it a little bit easier to actually use what you have. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. So let's go ahead and tear this with the tear ruler. Oops, wrong way. Goodness. Guess I'm not using my muscles today. I'm just going to tear it. I don't want it to be too perfect, so now that I'm thinking about it. So we're going to get this over here. Tear this one down a bit. Don't want any straight edges, so I'm going to tear this. It's really hard to work in here because my air conditioner is right at the level of my table, and so it it can blow stuff on my table. So that's why I keep kind of shifting some of my papers out of the path of the wind. There's that, and then we'll ink this up too. Maybe we'll put a little piece of lace on it as well. Just a little scrap. I actually had some cheesecloth. I think I'll use that since I pulled it out. So let me go ahead and just separate this really quick because I don't need it to be doubled. It's really pulls apart really easily, like to the point of not being able to really use it. It's kind of a weird brand or whatever of this, but it'll work for this purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with this, how I want this to be, and just want that flower to be able to have a chance to be seen. So kind of like that. It's still pretty disguised, but it's better than not having anything there. So I'm going to go ahead and put these items down. Oh, I forgot to cap my bottle again. Let's get this up here. Kind of go sideways on that. Dropping all over the place. Wipe that up before I put my arm in it. And then the last, I want my my cheesecloth there, just a bit. I want it to go this way. Yeah, I think that way. I don't need to glue it down because the flower, when I glue it, will hold it down. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this up. Yeah, I like that. It's just enough to kind of separate it from the background a little bit. I generally will just kind of grab whatever speaks to me when I'm looking for items for a project. And so these are the things that I felt like I wanted. So I also forgot I have this little butterfly, so we'll get her on here too somewhere. And our quote. So we have our quote as well. So I think we'll put quote up here. And maybe we'll put, butterfly really needs to be on the other side, doesn't it? I'll just put the butterfly there. I don't really have a choice. I didn't plan that out very well with the butterfly facing to the left, so that's okay. And then our quote, which I should have stuck down first. Let's see if we can squeeze it under that butterfly a little bit before she sets. She said she could, so she did. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Make sure we get it nice and straight there. All right, I love this. I love the feel of it. I don't know about you guys. Well, I do know a lot of junk journaling people that use a lot of recycled materials. We really like the sound of the paper. I love that sound. So that's what she looks like. So nice journaling space on the back and a little bit of ephemera on the front, but not too much. So let me go ahead and get the other one ready here. We've already inked everything. So you know what, this time I am, I'm going to do the pink anyway, even because I've already cut it and I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, but I'm going to put a little bit more glue on, hoping that it won't slip so much when I sew it. So I'm going to actually put it around the edge and just take the chance here. You just have to make sure you clean your needle if you get glue on it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. And the reason why, from my understanding from Gail, the reason why you put the copy dyed paper on the flat side of the packaging is because it creates a better writing surface. So there we go. And there we go. Okay. So let's get the coffee dyed paper on here as well. And again, I'm just going to go around the edges and hope for the best. I just really don't want to have that shift so much. It felt like it shifted, but maybe that's just the nature of the material because it is kind of slippery. So let's get this in here. We're a little bit crooked, but we can straighten that out. Right? In fact, let's go ahead and trim this up now. If you can see that pink edge. It's okay. A little bit here. Hoping this will be better, but I don't want it to ruin my needle. I don't think I have another needle because I just started using the sewing machine again after a lot of years of not using it. This one kind of looks cool because it doesn't contrast, or it's not a completely weird color to see that pink there like it was on the butterfly one, so it's going to be okay. So this one is a little bit smaller, so we're not going to make our things so big. You know what I mean, our things. Little taggy bits, taggy corners. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this through my sewing machine and I will be right back. Okay, so I had similar challenges even though I glued that, but maybe that's just the nature of using the bubble wrap, and my sewing was a little bit more challenging on this one for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and just trim this again because it must misalign it, all the sandwiched pieces when you put it through the sewing machine, but that's okay. And I really encourage you to check out Gail's channel. Gail Agostinelli, I believe is how you say her name. Just a delightful person to listen to. even if you're just, she does a lot of just kind of craft with me kind of stuff. So there's a lot of chat. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for the chat, but I like to listen to stuff while I'm doing other things. So that's often what I do with her. And then sometimes I just sit and give it my full attention. So, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do our little eyelet again on this one. This time I'm gonna find a colored eyelet. Let's just have fun here. I'm gonna try to find a yellow one. Sorry for my arm. Right up under my camera here. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, these are long, or longer, or should be long enough in terms of the depth, the height of the eyelet. So again, we're gonna get this baby in line here, and I just line it up on my mat to get an idea of where I wanna be. Push this back to 3/16 for the hole punch, and then it's almost just as wide as that. Interesting. That punched a little bit better, I think, than the other one. A little tough to go through plastic, isn't it? Just gonna go ahead and trim that just like I did the other one. Okay, hopefully that won't, still got some sticking out there. Let me see if I can clip that. It's a little bit tricky. Oh my goodness. We're gonna leave it and see if we're okay. I'm going to go ahead and move this back so that I can do the punchy part, or the squishy part. There we go. Should be all right. My things seem a little bit, yeah. I think I need to make some tag templates just so that I can get those corners. I think that they're off. I think that this one is leaning too much this way, but not like anybody's going to examine it. Critique me. Okay, come on, where are you? Sometimes it's hard for me to see where I'm going here. Okay. Okay. Ah, we're stuck. Why are we stuck? Sorry guys, I'm not sure why we have a problem here. I don't know if it would be best for me to try to pull it up. I'm not sure what happened there. It didn't like that for some reason. Goodness gracious, come on. It didn't like that at all for some reason. Maybe it wasn't. Oh goodness, what happened here? Let's try that again. And maybe it didn't like that size of an eyelet. I've got all kinds of mess here now. Darn it. I'll have to use this one. It may be that that one's not deep enough. So let's try this one and see if we have a better success. For some reason I got an extra hole, small hole in this one. I'm not sure how that happened, but fingers crossed. Oh my goodness. What is going on here? It is not wanting to work. Okay. What is the deal? Maybe that wasn't straight. Let me try one more. I'm not a quitter. I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't want to crimp that. Well, what is the deal? Wow, that is crazy. I don't know if something's getting in the way of it or what the deal is. Let me try. I don't know, I've never used one of these. I don't know if I can, yeah, this kit has the thing that you can manually do it. I wonder if I've got my other hand one still, so let me find that. Oh, what did I do with it though? Oh, criminy. This is just not really working. I'm not sure what the problem is. I don't know if there's material that's in the way here that it's not liking, which could very well be the case. I've got some plastic there. We're going to try again. I am determined. I don't know. I'm going to try a different angle here and see if it's just not liking something that it's hitting. Okay, that worked better. So, yikes, that was interesting. It's not, I've got an extra hole here that I'm not happy about. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where that came from, but it's not like anybody's going to look that close at it, right? I mean, who's going to look at it at all? That's the big question. So I need to cap this up because it's getting all clogged, my art glitter glue. We're almost done, guys, I promise. Thanks for bearing with me as I try to figure that out. Sometimes troubleshooting, we can learn a lot from how each of us figure stuff out. So it's definitely not wasted, is it? So we're going to go ahead and get this ribbon up in here. Sorry, silk. Oh boy. Maybe I need to go eat some breakfast. It's after 9 here, and I haven't eaten anything. It's interesting that the eyelet had such a problem with this one, but it didn't have a problem with the other one. So I'm not sure what is different. If you guys have any ideas about why that would happen, I'd be happy to hear it. But not everything's a success. This did not even attach. I can feel it. It's pulling from the back. It's not through there at all. So I'm going to work on that later. I'll fix that and figure out another solution, not on camera. So let's go ahead and finish this up. This one I don't really need anything in the backing because I've got this empty space here. So we're going to go ahead and use art glitter glue and attach our flower after I find my, thought I had another piece of this. Oh boy. I think I definitely need to go eat something because things are just not really working out very well. Okay, actually I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because I'm putting on directly on the rice paper, so still got some black yuckiness going on. I wonder if it's the orange cap. Maybe I'll just get a new one out. It's interesting. It won't affect anything in this case, but go ahead and attach that. That sit really good because there is something black in there. I don't know what that is, so I'll get a new cap. And to live without loving is to not really live. I love that quote, which is why I chose it. So we're going to go ahead and attach that as well. We're just going to put it right here, kind of at the bottom of the gazebo. I love this paper. I'll be sure to link it. It's one of the earlier printables that I ordered from an Etsy shop before I was doing any journaling kind of stuff, just when I was doing mixed media only. So I'll be sure to link that. So that is it. Really simple, really fun using that packaging. It's always fun to try new things. I'll figure this out. I need to come up with a different solution here because that's not going to hold. It's just messy. I'll probably, in fact, let me just do that while we're on camera here. We're only at 34 minutes, so I'm not too concerned. So see, it just came out. So I think what I'll do is cover that all up with a piece of scrap lace. And we'll have a pole instead of an eyelet. So this is my basket of scraps of lace and such. So let's find one that's kind of squarish that will cover that up. Is it going going to cover up. Yep, perfect. So let me just cut a piece of this. It's very interesting behavior. Which when I do this, then it means I need to put or I feel like I want to put a button on it. I should have used Fabri-Tac there. Darn it. It's okay. Sorry, I'm off camera. I need to move the camera closer, I think, because there we go. Let's see if that makes a difference. Every day is a little different, you guys. We use Fabri-Tac on the other side. Oh, I need to figure out what's going on with this cap. All this black gooby stuff in there. And I forgot to turn this upside down so that it would actually flow when I'm ready for it. My little cup here. And there we go. So see guys, nothing's ever completely lost. We just had to come up with a different solution to solve that problem with the hole. So I'm going to grab a button here really quick, because I just feel like it needs a button when that happens. And I've got a really bright yellow button, which matches the colors there in the print. So go ahead and put it right here. Cover up that hole for good, and there we go. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being patient as I figured out all those little weird anomalies that happen when you're doing something new. So I hope that you'll like and subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm creating. If you're new to junk journaling, I'd love for you to just kind of learn with me. I'm brand new to this medium. I've done a lot of paper crafting in my life, but not this kind, not using recycled materials, printables and things like that. So I hope that you'll subscribe. You know, of course, if you like the content, as I've said before, you know, I used to sell my art. I no longer wish to do that. It's a hassle. It's frustrating. There's just so many things to keep track of. And so I decided I'm just going to create and have fun. I've been doing YouTube videos for a little while in the mixed media world, and I just want people to enjoy creating. And if you can come along and craft with me or learn something from me, then you know, that's awesome. So so again, if you want to like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Click the little bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. That will let you know when there's something new. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.